The following program is rated Sports ME. It contains adult content, adult language, violence, and nudity. Parental advisory recommended. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Almighty Sports Show 46. Who would have thought 12 years ago? Started 12 years ago here with the Almighty Sports Show, but we're not here for history. We're here for sports. So, let's get on to it, I guess. And see what I got going here, if anything.
Trubisky is our starting quarterback and our captain. Man, we're just really comfortable with what Mitch has shown us. He's a guy that came to us with franchise quarterback experience, if you will. He's comfortable in those shoes. He's been the focal point of a football team in an organization before. He's had success in doing so. Like I mentioned when we acquired him, he took the Bears to the playoffs 2 out of 4 years. He has a winning record as a starting quarterback. Those things were attractive to us. His athleticism and mobility were attractive to us. He took care of the football in stadium. All our quarterbacks did, and I think I'd be remiss if I didn't say that. It's good to come to decisions based on what people are doing as opposed to what people are not doing.
All right. Big shocking news. Trubisky is the starter. Hey. So that's not a surprise. You know, it's not a surprise. But the rookie, Kenny Pickett, will be number 2. And leading up the third quarterback is Rudolph. Won't you guide my team tonight? And he's not going to be guiding any team unless 2 quarterbacks ahead of him get hurt. Now, as far as Trubisky starting, let's face facts here. Let's face facts. He's going to have a short leash or a leash, because why not? I mean, you got the rookie back there. Trubisky struggles in the game. I can see him going in, getting some reps. That's what you brought him in for. But in the meantime, I don't know how well the Steelers are going to do this year. Their offensive line's not all that great. But Trubisky was named captain, so he does have the respect of the team to make him captain. So we'll see how it goes. And plus, Trubisky's, he's always heard a few games here and there. So, Pickett will get his reps, I believe. And so we'll take it from there. I mean, but it's not a surprise, And their first game against the Bengals, that's right off the bat, the division game. They need, that'll be a true test for them against the Bengals. And speaking of the Steelers, yeah. Okay, here we go. Now look at this. It looks like the Steelers are going to retire Franco Harris's number 32 jersey during halftime of Week 16 matchup versus the Raiders. I mean, 50 years ago and one day, after recording the greatest play in Steelers history, Franco Harris will have his number 32 retired by the franchise. The retirement of Harris' number will come at halftime of the Steelers' Week 16 game against the Raiders at Acecure Stadium. The same team Harris recorded the Immaculate Reception against on December 23rd, 1972. Whack! Oh, now that's what a bitch slap. All right, you're gonna come? Really? Let's do that. Okay, now that in itself motivate the Raiders. You know, well that and let's see what we got here. We got Roger, I think. There he is wearing his colors, the Yanks, the Yankee jersey of all time. There he is. Now what's he got? His crying towel? Now he's disappeared. He's a magician. Oh, he's got his yes. Interesting. So I don't know how much you've heard, but I was going over Franco's. They're going to retire his jersey. So, and as I was saying, let's see, I am thrilled we are going to honor Franco with this recognition by retiring his number 32 jersey. Steelers president Art Rooney II said in a statement. Harris is the third Steelers player to receive this honor. Ernie Stottner's number 70 was retired in 1964, and Bean Joe Green, number 75, in 2014. So, and in my wildest dreams, I have never expected it, said Harris. When Art mentioned it to me, I was blown away, especially since I didn't make that catch. Made that catch. It's quite an honor to be the first offensive player to have their number retired. So Harris's immaculate reception back in 1972 gave the Steelers their first playoff win in 39 years by beating the then Oakland Raiders 13-7, which started the Steelers dynasty. And Franco Harris was elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1990. And his rushing yards were 12,120 yards per carry, 4.1, rushing touchdowns, 91, receptions, 307, or depending how you think about it, 306 for 2,287 yards. Receiving touchdowns, 9. So, Roger, how you been?
I'm doing well. How's the sound?
Fine. I can hear you.
I am beyond envious of my daughter, her setup here. Look, her green screen works. You can see a little bit up there. I have one of those lights up here, and there are 3. I hate this. It's an incredible setup that my daughter has. I'm looking at the main monitor here, and she has one up there, one down here, and it's a touch screen audio. It's like, why have I been suffering for years? My daughter has a better setup than I do. The mic is just right here in front of me, and look, the green screen works.
Well, I see that. I thought that might be awesome. I thought that might be the case since your Kings jersey was kind of going awry. And speaking of Kings, it's Big Dog himself. How are you doing, Big Dog?
What's up, guys? See, scorekeeper, that's your thousands of dollars that you spend hard at work.
Yep, that is true.
So are you
gonna commandeer the bridge?
Let me tell you. I am beyond jealous, man. I think she has a great setup here. I'm going to ask her to duplicate it over on my setup, but I just can't be in the office right now. Big Dog knows we are still frying, aren't we?
No, weather-wise?
Out there it is, yes. Inside, I'm fine.
Oh, yeah. In here, I'm actually not bad. But it is a bit warm because of some of the lights and stuff. But anyway, look, I'm here. I was in a rush to make it. I want to, first of all, I know this is late, and I'm sorry for cutting Big Dog off right now, but I do want to welcome Big Dog. I want to welcome myself, Almighty, as a guest. I am so thrilled that you are doing your own program. Dude, I loved hearing you so many years ago. I loved it. And I'm so happy that you've decided to do it again. And I just cannot wait to see what the Almighty Sports Show will be doing right here. We are so happy to be able to host your program, which has its own home. And we're going to be talking about moving down the road, talking about some of your old episodes. And we're going to see if we can get them on the NDB Media website.
Well, as far as I know, they're still there.
Yes.
I mean, I looked at them the other day. I just looked at it because I wanted to see not my first episode, but our first episode was 2009 in August. So, I mean, it's been a while. But our last show was 2012, I believe.
Yes.
With number 45. And so anyway.
So gracious of Roger to welcome him himself. I like that.
Yeah, yes. But I'm glad to be back hosting this show, and I know it might be a little redundant, but with sports talk with the guys and everything, but
it will not be redundant. It is a wonderful voice. I'm so happy. I was really concerned, Almighty, that I wasn't going to be able to make it, especially for your first program right here. And I'm really just so happy to see where it's going to go. Well, I remember what you did before, and if you even come tiny bit close to that, well, our program's going to be awesome.
Well, what are they going to say? Nothing. No. Well, I'm glad you can make it. I'm glad Big Dog can make it. I know that, time is, it's like 6 o'clock. Well, yeah, 6 o'clock there. So did you catch they're going to retire Franco Harris's jersey?
I did. I'm really, really surprised it hadn't happened yet. It's about time. And it was, yes. I was in Almighty maybe about 2 minutes into the program. So I did hear almost everything related to it.
But I guess the thing is, it's the timing, though, against the Raiders. Big Dog, what do you think of that? When they're going to retire? To me, that was the ultimate bitch slap. Oh, yeah, while you're here.
Yes.
Guess what we're going to do?
By the way.
And it's like 50 years later. And one day, I suppose. But still, it's 50 years later, and that's crazy. I just think that, oh, my. I keep thinking, was the schedule done this way on purpose?
Oh, they planned it. They were planning on retiring his number, and I think the first thing was, okay, guys, we're going to retire Franco Harris's number. And when someone said, well, when should we retire it? I know someone there immediately said, well, when are the Raiders playing? We'll wait till the Raiders play us.
Yeah, but it's working out perfectly 50 years later. It's supposed to be different if like 51, but 50, that's. Plus, it's been that long since the Immaculate Catch. And luckily, they didn't have high def back then, because then we know for sure. What are you going to say, Raj? You had your finger in the air.
I apologize, because I was surprised that not only is it the 50th anniversary, but the game is roughly around the anniversary of the Immaculate Conception. Folks, I've seen it on video. It was a great catch. What?
Reception.
I'm sorry. Yes, the reception.
The Immaculate Conception was thousands of years ago, sir.
I actually said conception. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we never know.
That was 2000. That was 2022 years ago, or 2023 years ago. Because
give or take, if you do consider the fact that they may have gotten the Julian calendar incorrect, it was probably 2027 years ago, but that's neither here nor there. I got it wrong. The Immaculate Conception, the Immaculate Reception, around game 60. Is it week 16? I think what's going to happen, and it's going to be during halftime. That's a big deal. I want to watch that. Franco Harris, I admire him. He was a great opponent. I don't remember him playing in his prime. Because he played in the 60s and 70s, didn't he, Almighty?
No, 72 to 84.
So I do remember him. So I don't remember seeing him in his prime. I remember from the late 70s to early 80s. So I still remember
him with his running through the Browns and all that bullshit. But anyway, hey,
He ran through he ran through everyone.
yes.
but I did. I'm just surprised. I guess I was surprised that there was only like two previous retired jerseys. I thought. I mean, some teams don't
Really?
retire
That's it?
jerseys, and
Wow.
some. Well, Mean Joe Green and some Ed Stoutner from the '60s. So they were retired, and I was surprised Mean Joe Green took till 2014. That's taken so long. I mean, but anyway, that started the Steelers dynasty. That catch and victory.
It'll
And
be
all.
it'll be the the end of the season. It's week 15. Raiders at the
Oh, I'm sorry.
Steelers on Saturday. Oh, Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
It'll be on Christmas Eve.
Yep. Merry Christmas, there, big dog.
Yeah, I apologize, folks. I said week 16. I'm sorry.
And it's so funny. Well, it could be week 16 because of the bye. So, but it's funny. They already have Raiders by 2.
Oh, way
Yeah,
too early,
yeah.
but that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, you can bet as of now. I forgot about
Oh
that.
yeah.
But
Yeah. So
Let me ask you. I mean, okay, big dog, as a fan, how does this make you feel that you're getting bitch slapped? And do you think this will motivate the Raiders to play better?
I think more so if it would have been at the beginning of the season. But by week 16, we're going to know whether the Raiders are going to be in the playoffs, not in the playoffs, or in the hunt. So this could be fodder for the final push. But the way the Raiders' seasons have gone lately, we'll more than know already whether they're in the playoffs or not. So this could be a meaningless game for the Raiders. They're going to play for pride, but we've talked about it enough times, and you and me and Scorekeeper are all old or older. And these new kids, they don't have, the passion for things that happened in the past. I bet I could honestly say 50% of them probably don't even know about Franco Harris and how great he was, on the field.
Well, no, but with this news coming out, and with I was going to say, if you want to know more about this Franco Harris guy, just go to Wikipedia.
Oh yeah,
Or go to. I'm talking to the youngsters out there that may not be listening.
Yeah, but as far as I gotta hand it to the Steelers though. Kudos, for picking it against the Raiders. I mean, one final FU to the Raiders.
Yeah.
So,
Well, this game could also have playoff implications too for both teams. So
Yeah,
it could be another. I mean, we don't. Excuse me. It's still too early to tell, and that. So I guess we'll find out on the Christmas Eve. I guess
Yeah.
I hope
because the season starts on Thursday. So as of right now, there are 30 teams that are Super Bowl bound.
that's true.
And then by week 3, the Dolphins will be out of the playoffs already, and a couple of other teams will be out of the playoffs already.
Well, the Browns already out.
Nah, you guys will make a miraculous comeback, and then not Baker Mayfield. What's his face?
Yeah, him too.
Deshaun he'll come in week 12, and he'll save the rest of your season, the last 4 games.
Well, yeah, there's gonna when Deshaun
5.
Watson comes back, he's gonna have his own medical tent staffed with massage therapists. So in between plays or whatever, he will be able to get that.
And they'll all be bikini clad, right?
Yeah. But so. Well, how did you get command of the bridge there, Raj? Doesn't she mind you using her studio, or did you have to ask?
I asked if I could do so because I didn't want to be out in the garage right now because it's so hot. So
and typical millennial,
she might come by right now. Gmo may say hi.
I was thinking she probably went,
Did you hear?
hola,
Yeah.
hola, Gmo.
Peter says hola.
Gmo.
Sneak in. There you go. Come on. There's that was great.
That was good.
That's my youngest, folks.
She can be one of the floating heads.
Houdini.
She might
That
she
was
might
really
rent that to you, Raj.
No, she doesn't. Don't say that. Don't say that she could rent this to me. Do not say that.
Oh, she'll lease it to you.
Stop it, big dog. She doesn't need to know what lease or rent is right now. Hi, sweetheart.
And I live here rent free. I'm good.
Okay. Actually, her setup is awesome.
Till she moves to New York.
I doubt it. But I will not comment on that right. Yes, I will not comment on it. I'm really impressed in this setup. I'm going to take a picture of it and show it a little bit later. Maybe Gmo, if you don't mind, you could snap a picture that I could post a little bit later. And guys, I am flying the bridge of the Enterprise. I'm in a captain's chair, number one. And seeing the entire setup is absolutely awesome. But folks, it's not about me. I apologize. It's the Almighty Sports Show. And I'm just so happy to be here. And I'm really happy that Big Dog is as well. Almighty, if anything, your returning to air is a significant moment. If you think about it, it's necessarily a rebirth. That's why I was thinking of Immaculate Conception. So it's a rebirth. Big Dog was there when Sports Talk with the Guys began. And I think it is so cool that he is here with Almighty Sports Show returning to air. And I like to consider myself a tiny bit fortunate. But I did want to comment about Franco Harris. Folks, this Franco Harris thing, it's something that's directed to us, the older fans, because as you guys were talking about earlier, these millennials don't get it. These professionals don't have time to know who Franco Harris is. They don't care to know. And that's fine. It is for the fans. We're going to enjoy it. I think it's an awesome, but it is cool to watch. That catch by Franco Harris, as much as I'm a Raider fan, it is unreal. And there's a reason why it's called as such. And I hope Franco, he's still alive, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to be there.
He's still alive. He's going to be there. So there are only
if you would have
NFL
listened
teams.
to the whole thing, I would have had quotes by him. But anyway, yeah. Go ahead, Raj. I'm sorry.
There are 3 teams that do not retire numbers. I knew 2 of them. I did not know the third one, though. A little bit of trivia. Don't look it up, folks. And I don't mean my co-host. I mean everyone else watching. The Raiders, the Cowboys. Do you know who the third team is? I did not know who the third team was. I had to look it up. Like I said, I knew the Cowboys and the Raiders.
Dolphins?
Ooh, good guess, but no. Almighty, do you know who it is? I didn't know.
Well, I'm just gonna. Who would be? The Cardinals.
Ooh, that's actually a good guess. I did not know the third team, the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, that
They
makes sense.
traditionally do not
There's
retire
no one there for
jersey
them to
numbers.
retire.
And I guess that's why none of us knew. I didn't know that one. I think that is a great bit of trivia, folks. That one is really cool.
I'm actually shocked, as far as the Steelers are concerned, that Terry Bradshaw's number is not retired.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, you had the steel curtain and the whole thing, but we all know, when the teams are elite and you can actually call them an all-decade team, or how they ran the NFL for a while. It all starts with that quarterback usually for the 99% of the time. Sometimes it's that running back, but it's usually the quarterback. And back in the day, Terry Bradshaw was a shit.
Yeah.
Big Dog, I
See?
acquiesce to that. What do you say? I remember Bradshaw. Funny, I don't remember Franco Harris. I mean, I guess I kind of do a little bit. But folks,
I mean, how can you? Well, yeah. Go ahead, Raj. I mean, that was cool. They were. Well, anyway, they rooted the nest for
a good 10 years, gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, they were
7 to
took
10
a
years.
while.
Yeah.
And
And that was a great time. I mean, everybody in the '70s, everybody had that nickname. You had the the Iron Curtain. You had the Purple People Eaters up in Minnesota. Everybody had great nicknames back then. You had the Jailbirds over here with the Raiders.
And Denver had the Orange Crush.
Yeah. The Orange Crush. That's right.
And the Browns had the shit for shit for defense then. Back in those days. Yeah.
I guess some things just don't change.
No. So
Yes.
So I don't know. So I didn't know if I was going to be here by myself or not. I didn't know.
ASS 46. I saw it. Oh, there it is.
He was a master at scrambling. He didn't have the greatest arm, but
You're like-
boy, you couldn't catch him though.
I mean, 5 seconds left. Look at them crazed druggies. Look at these. Look at that. They can't even stay in this. They can't even control this. Yeah, all right, a bunch of.
Thanks,
hoodlums.
Almighty.
They're a bunch. They're a bunch of hoodlums. I'm telling you right now.
The Raiders,
There
yeah,
it
they
is.
were.
Well, so are the Raiders, but that also started a great rivalry between
Yeah,
the Raiders and the Steelers that lasted for almost 10, right?
yeah. It lasted a while.
I mean, that's what you always thought about. I mean, they I know it's no longer a big deal right now, but back then, I mean, you had Steelers and Cowboys and yada yada yada. But I mean, there were a lot of different rivalries going on.
But Steelers Raiders was great. I mean, because you like I said, you had Terry Bradshaw, and then of course in the '70s it would have been the Snake. Oh shit!
Yeah,
I had the tip of my tongue. I just had
Kenny
his name.
Stabler.
Yeah, Kenny Stabler. And you had that group of people, and then when Kenny retired, and all of a sudden Jim Plunkett comes in, big old wobbly.
No, look, you had Dave Casper.
Oh,
And who was the
Yeah.
man? And you had those two corners, man.
oh yeah, Branch and not Branch. It was
Haynes and Hayes, right?
Hayes and Haynes. There we go.
Yeah.
Mr. Hayes and I think it was Mike Haynes.
I think so. Yeah.
But what's
And
his
Lester-
nick? Didn't someone
and-
have it?
Well, Lester Hayes was the judge, and that one picture that will always stick in my mind was when he had to stick them all when he was legal.
Oh my!
And
Yeah.
he had it all the way up to half the way up his arms. And I
Yeah.
think that year he had something like 12 or 14 interceptions.
Yeah, he just reached out his arm and just stick to
yeah.
his arm and just and then he'd be off and run.
But still, the fact that he had to be in the right place, right time. But
Oh yeah, you still had to be the ball hawk. I mean, you just couldn't be
Yeah.
anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
But with the Raiders, I mean, Hayes and Haynes, they were probably the premier corners at that time for a good, I'd say maybe 3 to 5 year window. You did not want to throw to those guys. Then you had Dave Casper just, the just free, just roaming out there. So that trio, they were awesome. Loved them back then. That's just me.
Do you guys remember Lester the Molester? I cannot believe we forgot that one. Yeah. Lester the Molester. That was his nickname. Yep.
That was back when when it
Back
the
when you
connotation didn't mean it's bad. Yeah.
You know what?
'Cause he
Well,
would
I don't.
Because he would. Well, his whole thing was they said, you try to throw against, he would just molest you as a receiver.
Yeah.
So
Oh, you know,
Yeah.
Big Dog. I think the phrase meant what it does today, but it was different. Everyone knew.
oh yeah, it was
Yeah.
different. And then of course when they did the posters, they of course couldn't. They refused to do that. Well, the NFL wouldn't allow it. So that's when he
Yeah.
got the nickname the Judge. Because they said he was judge, jury, and executioner if you threw the ball towards him.
So that was Lester the Molester. Mike Haynes, do you guys know he's the judge, right?
No, that was Lester Hayes.
Okay.
Lester Hayes is judge.
Do you know Mike Haynes' nickname?
That one slipped me.
Pantyhose.
Yeah, whatever.
That was Broadway Joe.
Yeah, that's right. How could you ever forget that?
I don't know if he had a nickname. Did he have a nickname? I don't think he had a nickname.
I'm trying to find it, and I do not. But they were one of the best. Were they the best corner tandem? I mean, those guys were one of the best, man. They were shut down defense before we knew what shut down defense meant.
What I used to love was when they played against Miami in the early '80s, and it was Marino. You had Duper and I forgot who the other guy was.
Yeah.
Duper and Clayton versus Hayes and Haynes. That was just a chess match.
Those were games.
Wow. Yeah.
Was there a third receiver? I'm sure there was. I just don't remember. But yeah, Duper. Okay, we're getting way off track. But Duper and Clayton, oh my God, those guys were unreal, man.
Well, I get some water, but I keep talking. I can hear you guys.
Okay. But yeah, I know there was probably a third one, but I can't remember his name either. But all you had was, but then again, all you had to do was sit back there because all Dan Marino did was throw the ball. So.
Oh hell yeah.
That's all and it only got him so far.
Yeah, I still feel bad for him, because he made the Super Bowl. Was it his rookie season or his second year? And they were like, "Oh, don't worry, he'll be back plenty of times." And
that was his rookie year, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was his rookie year.
And then that was no, but
he goes on that list. He goes on that list of greats that never won that ring. Like in the NBA, we have Ewing, Barkley, Malone.
Yeah. So.
Oh, just sidetrack, and I know we always love doing those tangents. I don't know if I sent it to you, Roger, or not, but I think on Karl Malone, and I didn't like him because I always thought he was just I just didn't like him. I found out they were talking about how despicable of a person he is. Evidently, when he was, I think they said 19 or 20 years old, he fathered a child who ended up playing football in the pros, in the NFL. But the mom was 13.
What?
Uh-huh. And
when did how I mean, not that it matters, but where was he in his career when this happened?
Well, he was
Malone probably would have been either in college and already being recruited for the NBA, and the girl's parents didn't want to press charges because evidently it was like the neighbors, or they all knew each other. They all grew up because they were all from Louisiana, and they knew he was going to go on to bigger and better, so they decided not to press any charges. But I was like, I knew I hated him for a reason.
Yeah, he wanted that. Where the hell's my food? But but still, But when did this all come out? Did it just come out, or how long is that?
It came across my Instagram feed where they do the video that I guess they're like those little TikTok videos, but they put them on Instagram, and it just came up and it said, "This is why I hate Karl Malone even more." And I went, "Oh, okay, I hate him too. Let me find out why." And I was like, "Oh shit, okay, did not know that."
Wow.
Yeah, I was shocked. That one I absolutely did not know. I hadn't known that about him. And
yeah, I didn't either.
To say I was shocked was very interesting, to say the least. No, not that one.
Well, you looked that up, Big Dog. I wanted to comment real quick on how Big Dog mentioned the whole thing about nicknames. I don't know if you've been there, Almighty, when Big Dog and I have talked about in the past that the dearth of nicknames, especially in baseball, you hear the nicknames.
I like that.
Okay, sorry. The nicknames for these players are just so lame nowadays. It's just there's nothing, and that's why Chris Berman, sorry, from ESPN was so awesome in creating all the nicknames for them. Big Dog and I have talked about this ad infinitum, ad absurdum. And one of the best nicknames I ever heard. Remember, the easiest one of all was from Toronto, George Taco Bell. Cut it out. From the Yankees, the pitcher who eventually went to the Padres, Dave Eland. His nickname is Dave No Man is an Eland. That's creative. Okay. And there were others. The most difficult one took him a while, and I lost my shit on this. I even translated this one for my wife, and I was able to translate it, and she died laughing. Can you think of the nickname for Carlos Baerga?
Oh my God.
Yeah, one is by Erga, two is by sea.
Very close. Carlos, one by land, two by sea, three by Erga. That was funny, man. That one was hilarious. I just, that's creative. And he had so many more. When you look at the nicknames that they have for these Dodger or the players nowadays, who's the Dodgers pitcher? Kershaw. What is his nickname?
Injured?
Oh, very good. It's like Kershey or something. It's like, it's stupid. It's
Oh,
ridiculous.
that's stupid. They can't think of it. Real quick.
They didn't even put a bar behind it? Kershey bar?
Oh,
That would
very
be cool.
good.
See,
Yes.
very innovative.
That's even better right there. God, Big Dog. Oh, sorry.
Yes, Karl Malone was 20. The girl was 13. They said that they didn't press charges because he could provide for them already. So they didn't press charges. The child, a boy, grew up to play for the Bills, the Eagles, and the Cowboys in the early 2010s, 2008 to 2011. He was a Bill. But his son is Demetrius Bell. So,
Okay. Wow.
yeah.
There you have it.
Yep.
You're first.
So I knew I hated him for a reason. Didn't even know it, but there was a reason.
And the thing was, he played for the Mormons.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Utah.
He played along one of the dirtiest players of all time, John Stockton.
Yeah. So something went awry. I've been working on this, loading things up and getting things in tabs all day, well, on and off, trying to get ready for the show, right? So I had this one, and I saw it on Pro Football Talk, and they had this press conference from Matt Stafford talking about his elbow. And he kind of was talking about his elbow, and he was going to say something, but he stopped in mid-sentence, which probably would have been a no-no to say. And I had the video and everything ready to go, but now the video is gone, and I can't find it. The article is still there, but the video that I was going to play is no longer there. And it happened. I just sat down here, getting ready to do the show. And it's like, where the fudge did that thing go to? It just drove me.
I've had that happen to me where I've actually had the video, and then I walked away and I came back. I walked away for a few minutes to do I forgot what, and when I tried to come back to the video, it was gone. Just in
But it wasn't that long, and it's like I was going to play it because then I was going to talk about it, or whoever was here talk about that. He was talking about his arm. They had an elbow problem last year, and he was taking ejections for pain and everything last year, and they're still bothered. They're still talking about it and worrying about it. And I'm just thinking, oh, wait a minute, this elbow got them to the Super Bowl and won it. So let's not. Right now, we have quarterbacks around the league. This is a copycat league. So remember, there are quarterbacks around the league hurting their elbows so they can have a chance to win the Super Bowl. This cannot be taken lightly.
Are you able to just upload it again?
What?
Can you upload it again?
Oh.
Well, that's what he's saying. It's gone.
No, it's there. I will.
The article is there, but the video is gone.
Is he talking to me or to his sandwich?
I have no idea.
Getting emotional. Thank you, Chimo.
Or maybe I
He's having an intimate moment with the sandwich.
Hey, it is not. I don't. Food isn't prepared for me anymore. This is an emotional moment for me. To have food given to me.
So in other words, she went to the market, cut the sandwich that she bought, and gave it to you.
Okay, nice try, big dog. I actually purchased the bread, and she prepared the sandwich right now, and it's a sub, man. It's just like a Subway. No tomatoes, damn it.
Oh,
She knows better. She knows I can't have any.
what did I?
Yeah,
But,
I'm sorry that's not available, Almighty.
No, but it was right there, and it's like all of a sudden it's gone, and it's like I can't find it. I've searched for it, and I've been looking everywhere.
The Rams probably scrubbed it. So unless you had actually
He
downloaded
didn't say
it,
anything that was detrimental. It just that all of a sudden it was gone.
maybe just the fact that he was leaning towards saying something about the elbow. That he was talking
Maybe
about
he cut
so-
himself off, but still, I don't know. I must have
So-
got. It was
Well,
on
that's
the
the,
same.
Is this Matt
that's
Ryan?
that's the implant that they have in his neck. And when he starts talking too much, they give him a little jolt. And
Yeah.
he stops talking.
Yeah, that's
Is
what
this
he did
Matt
on.
Ryan?
Stafford. Matthew
Oh,
Oh,
Stafford.
Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, because he played all last year. Or I don't know about all last year, but he played with an injured elbow. And
Yeah, I
he was
remember
getting
that. I remember
injection.
him saying that. Yeah.
And he didn't really do much in
That-
OTAs
He was-
this year or anything else.
He was doing a
so,
lot of cortisone injections, if I'm not mistaken. Correct?
Cortisone.
Yeah.
That's the one I was trying to remember.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, on Saturday.
That was too many days ago. I don't remember.
Thank you.
You remember? You remember? I
I
don't
remember I was trying to find that word.
Cortisone.
Cortisone.
I don't know. I can't find it now, but all it is now is that woman's article, and there's no video above it. So
Yeah. So they scrubbed it.
Well, I had it.
Reason, for whatever reason, the Rams felt something was on there, and unless you actually downloaded it onto your hard drive, it's gone.
Well, some of the quotes are still there in the article when I was reading the article, because it was right below it was Tomlin naming Trubisky the quarterback, and I must have gotten rid of it since I had already gotten Trubisky's soundbite, so I probably just got rid of it. But anyway, it kind of I didn't throw me off. It's like, well, it was there like 5 minutes ago, and then now it's gone.
Do you know who or which? On YouTube, I have numerous videos on his elbow injury.
Yeah, but from what time period?
Well, from a month ago, 4 days ago.
Yeah, no, he's 4 days
Yeah.
ago. I don't know if that's
This is Matthew Stafford on the Fantasy Doctors. There's an injury elbow update 4 days ago, then 11 days ago.
But this was him doing a press conference within this week, I believe.
Okay.
So
Because but everything I see is 1 month ago, but I don't see him in his shirt that he was wearing in the video. He was wearing a Rams t-shirt, and now he's not. And none of these, I don't know. Hey, look, all I know is that this maybe it's out there, but whatever website I was looking at where I had it, the video above it is gone. So I don't know. Look, I don't know what. Maybe, but then I looked for it. There are things a month ago. I mean, then after the press conference after the Super Bowl, I mean, it's like I can't. There's nothing, and I don't.
some teams do that where they feel, like I said, that he gave, even if he really didn't say much, the fact that he kind of hinted, so they didn't want it to be known. So they'll scrub the video, but they can't scrub the article because that's a reporter.
Yeah,
and they can't delete a reporter's thing, but they can delete the video because it's theirs.
Right. But what I'm going to do is go back through Pro Football Talk and see if I can find it on their program. Since they're recorded, since they're saved on the Peacock.
Were you surprised, or I don't know if you've seen it or not, the Browns and Panthers, which play on Sunday, kind Carolina is favored by 1.5. They're playing in Carolina. Did you think it'd be more? Did you think it'd be less? Did you think the Browns would be favored, or
Really? It's the first week, and we're going with a backup, so I don't know what to think. I mean, well, so you're saying it's even?
1.5? Yeah, 1.5. I'd call that pretty even.
Well, I'm just saying that usually, well, I guess it's not a half point. I thought you said half point, but 1.5. That's different. But and I don't know what to expect. It really, I mean,
Because I
I mean,
don't know
how?
if
I
you.
mean, I I think Baker will add a lot to the Panthers, but still, we're not talking about the Browns being led by Deshaun Watson at this time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't know much about this Brissett guy. I just don't know that much about him. I mean, except for what he did in preseason, but that's preseason.
Is he a rookie, or is like second year or something, or?
Oh, I don't remember. He's not a rookie. I mean,
Oh, okay.
they brought in so many people, and I think I wish I don't know. All I know is that the game is Sunday, and I'll see what happens. And
Is this being considered a rebuild year, so to speak, or is it more of a we're going to
for
hold
who?
on till Deshaun for you guys?
I don't think it's Jacoby Brissett. I don't know how many times, but he will start the first 11 games of the season unless he gets injured, and then. But
That's a monster sandwich, Roger.
Let's see. So, and I don't know. Let's see what it says about this guy.
Roger's taking a bite. That was right. You should mess with her, Raj, and after the show's over, you should leave like a little piece of turkey on the keyboard, a little piece of turkey on the screen. Just
I want to be invited back. Oh my goodness, folks. It's just made by hand. As you know, Big Dog, and you do, Almighty. When it's made for you, it's the best sandwich there is in the world.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Big Dog is a fan of mustard, but it's got mustard on it. I'm really happy.
No, I am not a fan at all of mustard. I can use it as a binder when you are on a barbecue grill or in a roast or something where you're putting it in a crock pot or something like that. I can see mustard as a binder there, but as mustard like on a hot dog or hamburger or sandwich, no, not whatsoever. But then I'm that weird Mexican that doesn't like corn, so.
So, I don't know. Anyway, so we'll see. I guess it's just two unknown teams right now. I mean, I know Baker's fired up for it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like you said, it's week one. We're really not going to see anything from anyone, prevalent till week 4 or week 5, and then we'll start seeing who's going to have the bad season, who's going to break out. So
yeah, but if the Browns defense could just stifle them. I mean, you still got Garrett coming after Mayfield now instead of them both being dancing on the same team. I mean, so we'll see. It doesn't really mean. I mean,
yeah. I mean, it would have been nice maybe they would have met, say, week 10.
Yeah,
where they were both, everyone knew where they were at. I think it would have a lot more meaning. But it is what it is. The schedule, they made the schedule, and this is just the way it's got to be. So it seems like I was looking at the schedule. It seemed like they did a lot of local teams together. Well, maybe not. Okay, now I'm looking at it. Maybe not. I'll just keep my mouth shut. So then it's Raiders and Chargers, Packers Vikings. The Packers Vikings game should be good. So those games are always good.
Yeah.
Got the Niners and the Bears. Steelers, Bengals. I think it's gonna be really. Oh God, Commanders. Jeez, the first time I've seen it. Eh,
The Red Manders.
yeah,
The Red Manders.
I still say you could have kept it the Redskins, just changed the logo to a potato, and it would have
Yeah.
worked.
Yeah. But no one thought of that.
Hmm?
Except the big dog.
Big dog, yeah.
Well, Big Dog did, but I'm just talking, unless
Yeah, but I'm nobody, so they
he's
don't-
not in the front office going, look, we're going to have, let's just, probably would have worked better if they were in
Well,
Boise.
First of all, if I was in the front office, I wouldn't have gave in to counterculture. So
Well, they did not. They remember they lost their they lost their advertiser, the naming rights, the people who were advertising for the stadium. They were going to lose like big money.
well,
I mean,
yeah.
Look,
I
Snyder.
guess.
Look, Snyder was fighting that left and right, and
Didn't-
then once he found out that was it FedEx that said they were going to
Yeah,
pull out.
yeah.
And then-
That's a lot of money. Okay, yeah. I'll acquiesce to that.
But didn't they lose the right to that image for some reason? And
Well-
then they won it after, because remember, we were
What
talking
image?
about this. Okay. The actual image of the Redskins, because it had to do something. Okay, forgive me, folks, but this is a Supreme Court thing. There was this musical band, and we talked about this on Sports Talk with the guys, and the word is CHINKS. They named themselves as such, but it was, as I understand, it was a bad word as far as the FCC was concerned when it came to being able to trademark it. And once they had that overturned, we're like, well, if you can, overturn that one, then the trademark to the Redskins doesn't
Be
need to be
safe.
changed. So
But counterculture was also in on that one, and that's why
Well-
FedEx felt the pressure and
Well,
said,
that's always
"Well,
that's been a thing
you know.
forever, though. I mean, not just cancel culture, but every culture since. I mean, just like the Indians has been under attack since whenever people were whining, not you know what I mean, protesting.
no,
that,
they were
but-
whining." Yeah, no, that's
Whine.
the correct word.
And where did I put that? So to answer your question, Jacoby Brissett was drafted in 2016 in round
Okay.
3, pick 91 by New England.
Oh,
And his last year numbers were 1,283 yards, 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions with a quarterback rating of 48.2. So we're
oh
hot to
boy.
trot. And
Yeah.
he's out of North Carolina State. So finally got some info there. So I don't know. And so we'll see. I mean, that doesn't look too overwhelming.
Yeah,
overwhelmingly
small sample
bad.
size, but yeah. Well,
But we'll see. I mean, he's got weapons. We'll see, and plus now he's the starter. Plus anyway, all we have to do is try to get through 11 weeks without Deshaun Watson and have a half decent record for, some kind of push maybe. Because who knows how the AFC North is going to pan out.
True. And it's like that question you brought up earlier, too. If they're doing very well and Deshaun Watson's suspension is over, do you then just throw Deshaun Watson in? And my personal opinion was no, you ride with what you got. I mean, if they're hot, or they're up there, a game or two out of first, or they're in first, I would continue to ride this kid. You know,
Well,
and
yeah.
Deshaun Watson to say, hey, we're only paying you $1 million anyway, so sit your ass on the bench, and if we need you, we need you.
Well, considering they were ready to lose him for the whole year.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, it's not like
Scorekeeper's so stoic right now.
I'm sorry.
I said you're so stoic.
Oh,
the way you're sitting, and
I apologize. I was trying to find.
I couldn't tell if you were frozen or what.
I was trying to find that article that that
from like
video.
20 minutes ago. From 20 minutes ago. Give it up, dude.
I may have found it.
Wow. So
Colin Cowherd, breaking news: Matthew Stafford on elbow. I can do everything I need to do, and he's wearing a Rams t-shirt. It runs 6 minutes 9 seconds. Is that the one?
Well, it might have ran that long, but the one I had just focused on what he. Yeah, that was that. That might be the one. I did not. I mean, like I said, I didn't. I'm not really a big fan of Cowherd, but
Same here.
So, but like I said, I saw it on Pro Football Talk. I can handle them better. So
here it is without sound. Is that it?
Yeah. Looks like it.
Okay. I can set this up. Actually, I have to make sure we get sound. I apologize. Let me get sound on it. Okay. Oh, great. I lost it.
Uh-oh.
Son of a... All right. I'll find it. I did what you did.
Yeah, it happens. So what? So what? I don't know if you've seen this or not, but I saw this. It's like the Rams keep full nameplate locker open for Odell Beckham Jr. in case he returns to team.
God. Okay, I guess.
The Rams will the Rams will have a spot open for Odell. So I don't know. It says the Los Angeles Rams have been lobbying for Odell Beckham Jr. to return all off season. They're making sure he's welcome back to Thousand Oaks with open arms. Now, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that someone in maintenance forgot to take his name tag off. And someone noticed it, and they don't want to admit that, we still, that a maintenance worker at $1 billion facility forgot to do their job. So they just made this excuse real quick that, in case he wants to come back. But seriously, is there any chatter over there about Odell?
No, I haven't seen anything other than I know they still retain the rights to him. That's probably why they're doing it, because if he decides to come back, I believe he's still under contract with the Rams.
I thought he was an FA.
I thought he.
Then why isn't he in camp?
That's a damn. He might have retired. I'm trying to remember. I'll look it up right now. But I thought he had put in his. Maybe he didn't put in his paperwork, but said.
No, because the Browns. Because someone on the Browns wanted to get him back, but I don't think Odell wants to deal with Stefanski anymore. So he might come back. I think Deshaun Watson was trying to talk him into it, but but anyway, I thought he was an FA and nobody has signed him yet because I remember reporting a while back that at first he wasn't going to get his knee fixed until he had a new team. I could be wrong about that.
Do you want to try and see if this is
He tweeted something earlier, 6 hours ago, I guess. Or no, excuse me, from September 6th at 12 o'clock. So that would just earlier. He joked that whoever wins the Bills-Rams game, he's going to offer his services to.
Oh, yeah, I see that right now through CBS.
Yeah, that he half joked about it.
Oh, for gosh
So
sakes.
I guess he is a free agent.
Yeah, but see, no one, what do you mean offer a service to? Nobody wants him.
Yeah,
I mean, he's still
that is
sitting
true.
now, except for the Rams, if you want to believe that's why they have the nameplate there. You got that all fired up for us, Raj?
I believe so. Ready?
Yep.
Let me know if you can hear it.
Starting to feel like it's
Yep.
coming back. Here's what he said at practice yesterday.
Okay, now he's
Yeah, we can't hear him.
in a fishbowl.
I'm just going out there doing my
There
work,
he is.
trusting the process that we have. I know that I'm able to go out there and function at a high level right now. So whatever it feels like, hopefully, continues to keep getting better as it has. And but I know that functionally, I feel like I can do everything I need to do. So just trying to continue on that road.
Got about 3 weeks until the
So that's about as far as we.
And the injury's on his off arm, correct?
I didn't ask.
I could have sworn, if I remember correctly, that it's his non-throwing arm.
Oh, was it? Well, then what's the?
Well, that's the whole thing. Because when you go, you're gripping it with both hands, and then you get ready to fire.
Yeah.
So
I guess I didn't pay. I guess I made an error and assumed that it was his throwing arm because his elbow.
I mean, it
was
could be a throwing arm. I mean,
I'm just saying, Rick is such a big deal out of his elbow. I mean, and if that's that nearest funny bone, all I gotta do is bump that. That thing's gonna hurt like a son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Is that Odell calling you right now to set the record straight?
Yep. Well, I guess scorekeeper went off the air. Wow.
What did he? I thought he just no. He put there he is. He's swallowing his sandwich, or he had to burp.
I'm trying to get a hold of Odell right now.
Oh well, we'll
OBJ.
get him on. We'll get him on the phone so we can straighten all this out, and also get a hold of the maintenance crew at SoFi Field so we can, make sure that we have all our bases covered on this thing. What was I going to look up? I forget. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know Stafford was that old. I thought he was a little bit younger than that. He's 34.
He's been around for a little bit.
I just don't know. So, okay. So, God. The next thing up is Russell Wilson's new contract.
Mm-hmm.
Now, from what I understand, and I don't understand it that well, but this is a $165 million guaranteed, but it's worth $245 million.
Possibly, yes.
And I guess where was I? I'm trying to figure out if this is a 5-year extension?
It is an extension.
5-year worth 245, including 165 million guaranteed. I'm pulling up the article right now.
But yes, as I understand, it is an extension as well.
That's what she said. Hey, yeah, I'm trying to figure out how. I mean, I think it will keep him there till 28, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, the Broncos announced a deal which runs through the 2028 season, and it is, as we said, a 5-year, $245 million extension that includes $165 million in guaranteed money.
Okay.
And the deal is the third most lucrative contract in NFL history, as in terms of guaranteed money, behind only quarterback Deshaun Watson's $230 million guarantee and Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray's $189.5 million guarantee.
And if I'm not mistaken, there's 2 years on his present deal right now. So basically,
Yes.
Denver has them for 7 years.
Had 2 years remaining on his previous deal signed with the Seahawks. At an
Well, how
average,
can-
at an average salary of $49 million a year.
Yeah, I saw that, but hold on. I mean, if you still got 2 years left,
Yeah.
does he get paid? Does he get an increase for the next 2 years? I mean, you're talking because 7 years from now would be 29. That is 20.
Well, no, so it's 5 years. Yeah, because where are we in 2022?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
2023. Then it's 24, 25, 26, 27. Yeah, 2028. No, that's right.
Okay, I
2028,
guess
that's
never mind.
7 years.
Never mind.
Because remember,
There-
this would be.
Yeah.
He's got 2 years left.
Yeah,
so this year,
I'm not-
next year.
I didn't count this year.
Yeah.
So the Seahawks and Denver play Monday night, and I don't think that's going to be. It's not like the Raiders and Steelers later on. They meet all the time, so it's not.
Yeah.
So now the Broncos are quite a bit into Wilson now with the new contract extension.
Big time.
And plus all the stuff they gave up to get him. So they have put everything on the line for Russell Wilson. And now they've got to try and build something around him. And, I don't know. And how old is the Wilson man? Isn't he?
He's 33.
No way.
Might
I
have
mean,
just turned 34. Yeah, so he's going to be 40 when the contract's over.
so
In
they're
the final
thinking
year
he's
of
going to.
contract.
You think he's going to be like a Tom
Hell
Brady?
no.
Tom
At least I
Brady?
don't.
No. I mean,
I
he's
hope
been
he
in.
will.
Well, he's been in the league for a long time. So I mean, I can't. Wait a minute. Seattle and Denver don't play that often. I kept thinking of the old AFC West back in the day.
Yeah, he's 33. He'll be 34 in November. And let's see.
So he'll be 40. Yeah, approaching 40 then, right?
Yeah, he's gonna be an old man. He's been in the league 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's already been in the league 10 years.
Yeah, but he's got a Super Bowl ring, so it doesn't.
Yeah, don't remind me.
Yeah. But I'm just saying they have so much invested into this one guy, and so we'll see how they can turn that around. I mean, Denver, they've been looking for somebody since Peyton Manning retired, and they just like the Browns. They can't find that quarterback, and now it looks like I just can't think about how I made fun of Denver for making that trade, and then the next week the Browns signed Deshaun Watson. So it was like, oh my God, should have kept my mouth shut.
Now, I have a question for both of you guys. What was the problem in both of your opinions with complete 180, it seemed, from one season to the next, or a season and a half, of the Seahawks? I mean, they were always at the top. And then all of a sudden, they sucked. I mean, it
He
fell
got hurt,
apart.
remember? He broke his finger or something. He got hurt. He was hurt. Russell Wilson.
I was wondering what the hell that meant. You were telling me my time was running out or something.
I thought he was pointing to like he's supposed to have a Super Bowl ring. Like he got a Super Bowl ring and said, yeah, screw it. We're done. Let's move on.
No, and he tried playing through it, but it was for quite a bit.
Yeah, but it could have been one of those things with the coaching staff too. I don't know. Sometimes the team falls off.
I think they all got tired of Pete Carroll and his bullshit.
Yeah.
That's just personal me because I hate Pete Carroll, what he did to USC. So.
Yeah, what an exit that was.
Oh yeah, he saw
he saw the writing
on the wall. He said, "Let's get the hell out of here. I'm getting out of Dodge."
Gentlemen,
Yes, sir.
when you look at his quarterback rating in 2021, he had a 103.1. 2020, it was 105.1. In 2019, it was 106.3. In 2018, it was 110.9. In the last 4 years, his quarterback rating was good, if not excellent. So it was a
That's what I'm saying.
perceived.
That's what I'm saying. You know, even if he was injured, the quarterback rating and everything else was still there.
Now in
Okay,
2020,
so
he had the most interceptions ever. In 2020, it was 13. But in 2016 and 2017, he had 11. His rookie year, he had 10. So
Yeah.
I
But
just
on the
think
flip
that
side of your 2020, though, you say
Oh.
he had 13 interceptions, but he also threw the most touchdowns he had ever thrown with 40.
right.
He's never thrown close to that. So with I mean with it was only 2 more interceptions, because if you notice in 16 and 17 he had 11 interceptions. 19 was his
Which
best.
is
He was
just what
31
I
touchdowns.
said. Yeah, I just said that was.
I'm sorry, I was being like scorekeeper and not listening to half the stuff you were saying. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but
Yes, you do.
no,
You
I
don't
don't.
listen to half the shit we say.
So I'm sure. So as I stated, in his rookie year, he had 10. In 16 and 17, he had 11. And in 2020, he had 13. That was the most he ever had. I think it's more of an impression because when you look at the yards, I think he threw for the most yards. He had a 68.8 in 2020. So I believe in 2021 is when he was hurt and his numbers were just down. I don't think it was actually, it was a career low. 3,113 total yards with 6 interceptions and 25 touchdowns. But he has 64.8 completion ratio or percentage, and his rating was 103.1. I think it's just the impression that people had. And maybe Big Dog is right on that one, that he'd had it.
well, looking at their stats in 2021, they were not that far off from their 2020 numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just
Yeah,
looking at their points from a year. I mean, in 2020 it was 459, and then 2021 was 395. And I guess their points per game dropped. Looks like 5 points. So that could be 5 points is quite a bit, and it might have been strength of schedule. I don't know.
Maybe, but their strength of schedule should have been strong the whole time, because I mean they've been much as I hate to say it because I don't like the Seahawks, but they've been a powerhouse. Up until last year, they were a powerhouse for the good 5-6 years.
Well, yeah.
So I'm trying to remember. I don't remember like any key player leaving or missing a significant amount of time. I don't know if it's just a fact that, I mean, with some teams, and it happened, much as I hate going back to basketball, it happened with the 80s Lakers. They were together for too long, where you just kind of get complacent, with the coaches. So that's when the whole thing with Riley happened, and Riley quit, because he saw the writing on the wall.
Well, the strange thing is that their points per game went down by 2 points. But so really,
I don't know.
I mean, number-wise, I don't see a fall from 12 to 4 to 7 and 10. I mean, that is an interesting question. I never really looked into it because I wasn't really a huge fan either. But
yeah, me either. But it was just weird. And I had mentioned it all last season. Throughout the season when they kept losing, I was like, "What happened to these guys?" I mean, I love seeing the fact that they're losing now, but the fact, that there seemed to be no significant changes in the lineup or on the team, and they just could not win. Games that you thought they had in the bag, and they were just blowing these games. And then of course Russell Wilson gets traded, which was a shocker because I figured he was going to retire, a Seahawk.
right.
And that seemed to come out of left field because it didn't sound like there was any problems there, at least not that were made public. Now, behind the scenes, who knows what happens? They might actually be excuse me, they might actually be a type of team that actually keeps everything in house, which almost never happens anymore because of the social media. But and still nothing has really come out. And it's weird that Pete Carroll has been oddly silent about the trade and him leaving, and the whole thing to him it was like, oh, okay, our number one guy that was gonna go into the Hall of Fame and retire his jersey and only he's gone. Okay, fine, let's go with the next guy. And it's kind of weird. I'm just wondering what the thing was.
I don't. Let's see. Here we.
What's up, scorekeeper? ¿Qué pasó?
Gentlemen, I have to go.
Yeah.
Business calls. I want to thank you, Almighty, and I just have an appointment shortly, so I have to get to it.
That's cool. Well, thanks for joining.
Thank
I
you,
didn't
Jim.
know. I thought I was going to be. I didn't know if I was going to be here by myself or not. So I had everything ready to go for at least 5 minutes. I mean, about half hour.
You the man.
Yep. You have a good evening there, Raj.
We'll see you guys.
Yep. So that is interesting. I just don't. I can't.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I just wonder about it only because the downfall was so quick. A lot of times you'll see it gradually going down, kind of like Pittsburgh. With Big Ben, as he got older, the knees got bad, and the team was in flux a bit. So you could see that decline. Even though they were always good for pretty much 8 wins, but you could kind of see it. But with Seattle, it was just like night and day. Literally 1 year to the next. So,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. I was really shocked that he got traded, and even more so that it was to the Broncos. But I know the
Right.
Broncos, like you said, the Broncos have been looking for someone since Manning retired.
Yeah. I understand that, and I they haven't found their guy in Russell, and now I don't know. Yeah. Why can't I get last year's schedule? But
Did you see the news about the Bears and their new stadium?
no, I last reported on that. Are they actually going to get it done?
Let me start and pull it up again real quick. Bears. Okay, here we go. It says Bears release conceptual plans for a 326-acre property, including construction of a domed stadium.
Dome Stadium.
Yeah. They released conceptual plans today for a development of a 326-acre Arlington Park property, which includes the construction of a dome stadium. In what the organization is calling one of the largest development projects in Illinois state history, the Bears envision building a multi-purpose entertainment district anchored by a new best-in-class enclosed stadium, providing Chicagoland with a new home worthy of hosting global events such as the Super Bowl, college football playoffs, and the Final Four. Interesting.
So no matter how the mayor tries, it seems like the Bears are ready to move out of the city.
Yeah.
Wow. That is.
So here we go. The Bears lease at Soldier Field runs to 2033, but the team can end the lease as soon as 2026 for an estimated $84 million. In January, team president and CEO Ted Phillips said the organization anticipates closing on the land in Arlington Park by early 2023. In an open letter, the team continued to express hypotheticals surrounding the project.
Wow. Did it say when they were trying to start? Maybe I missed it. Schedule construction, or is everything still in the planning stages?
Everything's still conceptual. So it says the Bears said construction of the proposed project is projected to create more than 48,000 jobs and result in $9.4 billion in economic impact for Chicagoland. The completed project is expected to create more than 9,700 long-term jobs and result in $1.4 billion in annual economic impact for the area.
Wow. So
So we won't see something like that till 2030 somewhere.
probably.
Because they're still in
But
conceptual stages. That you figure another year or two just to get all the plans and everything going, break ground, another couple of years for them to build it. So
Yeah.
2022, 24, 26, 2028, 2029 maybe.
yeah, but still they've they're moving forward.
Yeah. I mean, Chicago Stadium, I mean, Soldier Field, yes, it's, iconic in history and the whole thing, but when you don't upgrade it,
Well, how long can you hold on to that? I mean,
yeah.
that can be said. I mean, I guess the
I
only
mean, there's
stadium
certain,
left would be Lambeau then, right? That's been
oh
around
yeah,
for. Doesn't everybody else
forever.
about have a new home or newer? I mean, I'm just trying to think because Lambeau, I think when I checked into it was late 1950s, maybe something like that. I can't think of everybody else has a new house. I mean, maybe not new, like, Los Angeles and the rest, but still within the last 20, 30 years.
So Soldier Field, it says was uh, broke ground in 1922 and opened in 1924 and was renovated in 2002, 2003.
Okay. So it's 100-year-old facility.
Yeah,
So, I
yeah,
mean, really, I mean, it's past due, maybe. I know that they've
yeah.
done improvements and and the mayor wants to do more, has offered a more improvements, but still, when the plumbing's bad, the plumbing's bad.
That it is. And it is this as historical landmark, so it cannot be destroyed.
That means you can't move out.
You can move out, you just can't tear it down.
Right. I'm just saying, that doesn't mean you can't move out. I mean, just be an
Yeah,
empty
oh, yeah, yeah.
historical landmark. That's probably why she wants them to stay is because once they move out, what are you going to do with it? It becomes an eyesore, like the Roman Colosseum.
Or like, shoot, the one in Detroit that they just kind of left there and they finally tore it down.
Yeah.
God, that was an eyesore at the end.
But and
Lambeau Field, on the other hand, opened in '57.
yeah, I thought it was somewhere around in there, 57, 58. I mean,
Yeah,
it wasn't as old as I thought it was at
yeah,
first.
me too. I thought it was older. And it was renovated in 2003.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean, it's hard. I mean, it's hard to let go of those type of stadiums, but you know, I
but
didn't.
there's not that many around anymore. I mean,
Yeah, I know. That's the sad part.
I just don't like it
Soldier
when their names
Field.
change to something stupid. But other
Oh,
than
I
that,
know.
like,
What's the capacity? What
I
is the
think the
capacity?
next one up for maybe a new stadium would be the Commanders.
Yeah.
I think he wants Snyder, if he's still around, wants to build a new stadium for his new Commanders.
So Soldier Field, the capacity right now is 61,500. I thought it would be more because it's so
Yes,
old.
no, they've been adding on to. I mean, well, back when it was built, they were. I don't know. That's kind of, but
So
still,
probably they're probably the old. Let's say what I say, 1922. What is um, the LA Coliseum then?
I don't know when it became. I don't know when it became. Was it always Soldiers Field? Was it named after the World War One veterans? I thought it, or was it two? I can't remember.
Let's see. Tenants. It doesn't say.
Yeah.
Doesn't give the names. So I didn't know that they ran with AstroTurf for almost 20 years.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, from 71 to 87. But now it is Kentucky Bluegrass.
But they're not in Kentucky. Well, I guess if you got to, there was, gosh, what player was that was complaining about? I didn't put it up there, but there was a player complaining about artificial turf and how it might lead to his, busted again, about how artificial turf is rough on that, causes some knee injuries. But they've always been complaining about that. I thought they've gotten better at it, but I guess not.
I think it depends on the stadium and how they do it, but it looks like the Coliseum is a little bit older. That was they broke ground in 1921 and they opened in 1923. So 23, yeah. So they're a year older than Lambeau. Not Lambeau, excuse me. Chicago.
Who is?
The Coliseum.
Oh.
But that's been renovated so many times, though, on the inside. It's just the outside that has the structural integrity is still the same, but the inside's been done up so many times. The last time being 2018 by SC.
Yeah, from Soldier Field it goes to Lambeau. So and Arrowhead is 50 this.
Wow.
Is it? Yeah, 50. Same year as the Immaculate Catch is when that opened.
Wow.
So that one might be. Well, the Bills are getting a new one, so it doesn't really matter. I don't know if the Saints will ever get one. Theirs opened in 75.
Think the Bills will ever get over that hump?
I don't know. I guess we'll find out Thursday. But I guess
it's outrageous what the cost of these new stadiums there are, though. I mean, oh my God, I believe SoFi was, I think, $5 billion.
Yeah, that was all you. Well, it started with Jerry Jones when he built that new Dallas.
Yeah.
Strippers club. Yeah. Well, I remember when watching it, and then there were like cowgirls dancing in every aisle or whatever, and it's like, what the fuck? And it's like, what is this? I mean, you might as well. You have to bring your dollar bit. Well, it's a stadium, so if I tip them $10, but it's
no kidding.
but he started it, and then but not every stadium went hog wild, but still a lot of money because they have found more revenue streams when they build these things. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be things around this new place they're going to build, Chicago's new stadium. I'm sure it's a big empty lot where they'll be able to build what they need.
Yeah, that's what they're planning. They're planning on doing like down here in LA to do that LA Live, where what's crypto now. They used to be Staples Center, and then right across the street is an entire entertainment district. So they're planning on doing that with the new stadium there. So
right,
it'll be interesting though. I mean, people were complaining for a bit, but once the new stadium opens, they're just gonna flock to it, just like they would any other new stadium.
Yeah, it's going to be. I mean. How old? Interesting.
What's that?
No, that's talking about them. I'm trying to see how old the United Center is. to see if they could build the stadium near it. A new coliseum for the Bulls. That's what I was trying to find out, but it never tells me anything I want to know. Oh, that's a different stadium. Oh, Chicago Stadium. Well, that one was demolished in 1995. So. Anyway. I think the Blackhawks played there too.
So the 10 oldest NFL stadiums. Number 1 is Soldier Field. Then it's Lambeau. Then it's Arrowhead. Then it's the Bills, which is called Highmark Stadium.
Yeah,
now.
but I didn't count that one because they're getting a new one.
Oh, okay. And then what used to be the Mercedes Center, which is the Seattle Superdome where the Saints play.
Right.
That's the 5th oldest. Then the Hard Rock Stadium, which is Dolphin Stadium. And then TIAA Stadium. Jumped all over the place. Which is where the Jags play. Wow, can't believe that's the 7th oldest.
Yeah.
Then Bank of America Stadium, which is the Panthers. FedEx Field, which is the Washington football team, or
Yep.
whatever, the Commanders, whatever the hell they're called. And then the 10th oldest is the M&T Bank Stadium, where the Ravens play.
Right. But I guess I didn't go into the 90s since I don't think of them as that old, because then I think that I was old, so I didn't go. I said, I'll stop in the 70s. I'm not going to go into the 90s. But
it's weird though that the fact that the 10th oldest stadium in the NFL was built in 1998. Just 24 years ago, and that's the 10th oldest stadium of the 30 stadiums. It's like, holy shit.
yeah, I'm just Cleveland. Was that Cleveland Stadium, or was Cleveland? I know their first season was '99, but I don't know when it was completed. But
it doesn't. This was only in the top 10, so Cleveland might be 11th or 12th.
But that's what we were talking about, because Washington, he wanted a new stadium, and we're like, well, that's only 30 years old, because usually they're supposed to last 40 or 50.
Not anymore.
But
everybody just comes up with the new concept of
I mean, because
and
now
like you said, it started with damn Jerry Jones and that. What is it? Almost 100-yard Titantron or whatever Videotron that's up there.
Oh my gosh!
I think they said cost, I don't know how many hundreds of millions of dollars on its own.
That probably costs as much as a stadium did back then. I mean, a basic stadium. That thing was huge. I think, but that going by Snyderverse. By going by Snyderverse, everybody that's built a team before 2000 needs a new stadium.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
and the funny thing is, like when you were talking about naming rights, if I'm not mistaken, in Dallas, because of course with whatever the name of the stadium is, I forgot what the name of it is, but I believe the Videotron has its own sponsorship. If I'm not mistaken, it's named.
Why not?
You got money off of that, and money off this, money off that, and of course your luxury seats and your you have to lease your seats or some shit like that. Now I forget how that goes.
Yeah,
the season seats and the leasing agreement or whatever it's called.
Isn't that a personal?
Yeah, that thing.
Something.
I forgot what it's called. Yeah.
Personal rip-off, whatever it is.
Yeah, pretty much personal rip-off. That's right.
Yeah, but yeah, it's weird. That's why no one. Well, people still go to games. I was going to say no one can afford to go, but they still pack them in. So I can't have them misstep. And
I'm going to look it up later. Maybe I'll have it for Saturday. But I remember last year they said the average price to a NFL game for a family of 4 was something like $650 or $750.
How much?
Like $650 or $750 just to go to a game for a family of 4. The husband, the wife, and the 2 kids.
That sounds about That sounds about right. I mean,
Yeah,
why
you
not?
know, it's like, holy crap. 'Cause I remember reading with Dallas. I mean, we keep going back to Dallas, and Jerry Jones, I guess, got hats off to him for being able to get away with it. But I know parking, if you're like in the general area of the stadium, or you're in the stadium parking lot, I think they said parking is $50. That's
What?
general. That's like, yeah,
Well, it's
that's
been a
like in the
while.
stadium.
Well, it's been a
That you're
while.
within.
Well,
You're within. I don't forgot how far from the stadium. It's $50, and then uh, like the outskirts of the stadium parking is like $35, and then once you get out of it, then it's whatever the surrounding people charge.
yeah, I don't
But
know because I mean, when we last time I went to Browns game was maybe 10 years ago, and I mean they have lots of and there's lots of. I mean, yeah, you have to walk, but there's downtown parking. I mean, the thing is,
yeah,
so it only it. I mean, at that time, it didn't. Like I said, I've been there for a while, but it didn't cost that much money. I mean, you could probably park for 15-20 bucks, but geez, I mean,
I mean
but
everything's just
anyway,
got high.
so I mean,
Well, like Comic Con, just me going to Comic Con this past July. If I would have tried to do the parking anywhere close to the convention center, parking was anywhere from $35 to $60 a day. So I said, screw that. I'm taking the trolley for $2.
that's what.
I'll park at Old Town San Diego, which was about 15 minutes away, but the trolley, $2 to go. And I got the pass for the 4 days. It was a 4-day pass because it was actually it was like $6. So six going, six coming. So it would have been $12 a day. But they had a Comic Con pass where you can go all 4 days for only $20, and that's round trip on all 4 days. So I was like, oh, that's more than worth it. So I
Right.
just parked there and took the trolley in. Don't have to worry about parking and the craziness of trying to find parking. But yeah, people were paying $50 a day. I was like, I'm not that crazy.
Jeez. So, hey, where is this guy? We were speaking of Buffalo, and I forgot about this until I was checking on it. But the punter rapist.
Oh, huh.
So, I'm trying to see if I can.
See if I have it still. Bayfield. We'll see.
So what we him and two other guys
Yeah.
teammates gangbanged a teenager last fall.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's that punter Matt Areza or something.
Arieza.
Whatever.
Arieza.
It doesn't matter. We don't. He's done. We don't have to worry about pronouncing his name right because he's done. But
Yeah.
I think she was underage, wasn't she?
Yes, she was 17. Yes.
God, I just can't. I mean, it seems like you don't hear much of it since he's gone. But
he's in some deep shit.
Yeah.
Because he is. Let's see if it says how old he is or not. So he is his bio.
It's just, as far as I can tell, it's
He's
just
20. He's 22 years old.
Yeah, he's just a rookie, isn't he?
Yes, and this just happened this past summer.
Yeah, August 25th. But right now it's just a civil lawsuit.
Yes,
gang
that's what we were
raping,
talking about.
gang raping a minor during an off-campus party in San Diego State
San Diego
University.
State.
Yeah,
The party school, yeah. Man, they're known to be a party school, unfortunately.
But
So
anyway,
like on that list.
wow.
In a statement released during, this was last Friday, it says, Arieza said the facts of the incident are not what they are portrayed in the lawsuit or in the press. I look forward to quickly setting the record straight. With the serious nature and allegations, and with serious nature and allegations, and we don't have the means to put all the facts together. There are multiple versions of what happened, and Sean McDermott, as a football coach, I'm a GM. We don't have access to everything, so that's more important than playing football. So we want Matt to focus on that. And that was from the GM on why they released him.
Right. Is this
But
separate? No.
this was as of August 27th through ESPN. So there's a civil lawsuit going on, but it looks like there hasn't been an actual police investigation. It was reported to the police, and remember we talked about it that there was a rape kit done, and I think what it is the DA is probably trying to get all the facts together before they indict him, since it just came to light just a few weeks ago.
Right.
So I
Okay.
think it's an
Now,
ongoing process.
now I get it. Okay. The suit was filed on August 25th, but this took place
Yeah.
October of 2021. So,
Okay. Yeah.
but now it's just okay.
And
Well,
and they're already painting her as being at fault, so to speak. They said she came in drunk and that she was drinking even more there, but I guess there's witnesses that saw that she was drunk, and that Ariaza guy and the other two gave her more drinks and then took her into the bedroom. So, like I said, it's conflicting stories right now.
what?
But
Okay, I'm trying to go back. Did you say that they're trying to paint her as the?
not being 100% the victim. In other
It
words,
doesn't.
in other words, his side is trying to paint her as she initiated it, and that she wanted 3 guys or 4 guys or whatever.
It doesn't matter. And if
Yeah.
she's drunk, that's already
Yep.
non-consensual. I mean,
And,
at least
and the
in
fact
this
that it was,
state, I don't know how it is
yep,
in
and
California.
the fact she was underage,
Right, it
and
doesn't
at
matter what.
and at a frat house, which makes it even worse. Because now the frat house is responsible now for providing alcohol to her, knowing that she was a minor
It's just like,
and underage.
yes, it doesn't matter if you go up there and say, well, she told me she was 18. It doesn't fly. But
Yeah.
I don't. Anyway, I guess it'll all work its way out. Right now, that it's.
Yeah.
But I mean,
we
we
probably
did. Go ahead.
won't- no, I was just gonna say we won't really hear anything probably for at least another month or two, as far as like the DA, whether they're gonna do charges, what charges, the other two, because I know he went to the pros. One of the guys no longer plays football, and the third one, I don't remember what they said about him, whether he's still in college or what. But yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, with the way the story read, you read the story and stuff, and all the things that were done, and there are multiple witnesses that have her, when she came out of that bedroom where she's bleeding, vaginally. They said, blood was coming, from
Right.
her legs, and she looked like she was beat up. She had bruises and stuff on her face. Her clothes were torn. So,
Yeah. Gosh, that was. The thing is, it's been a few weeks since I've read it because we were going to talk about it and then we didn't, and then things have been going on. But it doesn't matter. She's underage, so it's all over.
Oh
Even
yeah.
if she said yes, it's all over. I mean, it doesn't matter, you know. But you're right. I remember reading that she was saying that she was pretty, violent. She was
Yeah.
bleeding and
Yeah.
stuff.
What happened to her? Yeah. What happened to her was really.
Yeah. Or were there witnesses that said that she was bleeding, or is that just her account?
No,
Or don't you know?
there were witnesses that when she came out of the bedroom, that's why they called the ambulance
Oh,
because
okay.
they saw how I guess the guys had already left, and then when she came out of the room, they saw how badly she was.
Okay. I was see. The thing was, is I was gonna. I didn't. I didn't know if they were had a chance to do a rape kit, but if they
Yes,
took her
they
to the
did.
hospital, okay. Well, then
Yeah, they took her
everything
to the
did.
hospital and they did the rape kit. Yes.
Okay. All right. I don't know. It does. Anyway. Wow. But that. I mean, it just seems like one
So
thing after
I got
another in the
I got
NFL.
some, I got something new. This was as of September 1st. Um, it says that she did an interview on Nightline. So the woman who has accused ex-NFL punter Matt Araiza and two of his college teammates of raping her during a party last year talked about the alleged incident in an interview with Nightline. The alleged victim, who was 17 at the time of the incident and was asked not to be identified, said the sexual assault took place last year during an off-campus party at San Diego State University and said it still lingers in her mind. She's suing Araiza, who was released by the Buffalo Bills, and the two former San Diego State football players, Xavier Leonard and Nolan Uwaliko, accusing them of gang raping a minor. The alleged victim says she wants charges to be filed and the men arrested. Quote, I am really looking forward, quote, I'm really just looking for closure because I can't stop thinking about it. It says it took place at a party October 17, 2021. She was a high school student at the time. Arieza was 21, and Leonard and Ualiko were both 18 and were on the football team. Says she was intoxicated, in and out of consciousness that night, but they were several blocks of the night that she remembers just like they were yesterday. The alleged victim said she talked to Arieza outside of the house where he gave her a drink and performed sex acts on her. After the initial encounter, the alleged victim says she was led back to inside into a bedroom, according to the lawsuit. When I walked into the room and I saw that there were several guys already in there, I had a feeling that something bad was going to happen, and I expected it. She said Arieza and the teammates violently gang raped her, leaving her bruises and bloody marks. She also said her piercings were ripped out. I do remember reading that. She had a nose piercing, earrings, and a belly piercing, and supposedly the guys all ripped those out of her without. They just ripped them out. I do remember reading that in a different article.
Wow.
The victim told Nightline that she never once gave the men her permission for sex and said she was screaming during the incident. I felt like it should be clear to anybody that it's not consensual sex. The alleged victim said she contacted the police the next morning, filed a report, and went to the hospital. She said she didn't initially know the identities of her alleged attackers. So the detectives in the sex crimes unit arranged recorded pretext calls with the men who were believed to be in the room when the gang rape took place. The alleged victim said Arieza was on one of those calls. Quote, he told me we had hooked up and he told me that I should get tested for chlamydia. Then I was told by my detectives to clarify what he meant by hookup. So I asked him if we had actual sex, and his tone completely changed from that point. End quote, she said. The alleged victim said that Arieza then denied having sex before hanging up, as alleged in the complaint. The police finished their investigation in early August and turned it over to the San Diego District Attorney's Office. No arrests have been made in the case, and the police have not publicly identified any suspects. Says the case remains under review by our office for potential criminal charges. Says the San Diego DA's office. The alleged victim's attorney got in touch with the Bills. Talks about the Bills letting him go. He's denied the accusations via statement through his attorney. Says he never gave her a drink. He never gave her any intoxicating substance, and that she was not visibly intoxicated when he was talking to her. The parents
Okay.
came forward already and said that he's being extorted, discriminated against, harassed, and the subject of multiple and continuous threats of violence and death. We all have been canceled. Every member of our family, the parents said in a joint statement.
They've all been canceled.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Okay.
They've all been canceled.
Okay. All right. As long as we get that straight.
Uh-huh. And then she
Wow.
ends it by saying, "I know I've made mistakes that night. However, I don't think that any sort of mistake deserve what was done to me that night, and they still need to be held accountable for what they did." So we'll have to, like I said, we probably won't find out charges, if any, for the next probably at least month or two, and it's all going to come down to he said, she said type of thing.
Well, not if there's a kit. There should
Well, I
be
mean,
DNA.
well, yeah, but I mean, all that's going to prove is that he lied and they did have sex.
Right. So, okay. So you're talking, but she's underage. It doesn't.
Yeah. Well, if he was 21, I forgot how it works here in California.
Well, she's 17, but she seems to have been too inebriated to give her
Yes.
consent.
Yeah, and she said she was screaming the whole time and saying no the whole time. So, but that, of course, is going to go back to he said, she said, because he's going to say no,
Well,
she didn't say anything.
We'll see if others heard her screaming.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, it has to go through the process and see what the whole story is, right? But it doesn't look good for the three guys that.
Yeah, especially if she did the rape kit and the DNA's there, they'll get him for lying since he said he never had sex with her. Because he was saying they hooked up, which I know in the teenage vernacular, hookup is anywhere from making out or filling a girl up or filling each other up to having sex. That is all considered hookup. So, that's why I think that's why when they were saying, can you elaborate? What exactly do you mean by hookup? And that's when his tone changed and he said, no, I never had sex with her. So, I mean, if the DNA comes back that, there's his DNA in her, then, they'll get him right there for lying, in a sworn statement, and then they can get the ball rolling from that, but.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. I mean, well, thanks for reading all that, big dog. That was a lot of that, but
Yeah, sorry it took so long, but
Well, no, but like I said, we left off I think we left off, I don't know, a few weeks ago with that, and we never got back to it. Well, I guess something for you to keep tabs on there in South California.
Yeah, same thing with what's his face too, the Dodger pitcher, because he's still on what Major League Baseball's suspension or extended leave of absence or whatever the hell they call it, that he hasn't played all year.
Yeah,
He's still getting his contract, and I think he has one more year left on the contract after this year.
Yeah, he hasn't played for 2 seasons.
At least a season and a half, because I think it was at the beginning of the season when it came out of last season, beginning of last season when it came out.
Yeah, remember we were talking
So,
about it last summer.
yeah.
I mean, it's all. I mean, it seemed
Yeah.
like I'd be on a weekly update for a long time, and then
Yeah, Bauer. I couldn't think of his name.
yeah,
Bauer.
Bauer. Yeah,
Yeah, because every 2 weeks they would extend his time off because they couldn't do it for
yeah,
more than it had to be a 2 week done in every 2 weeks.
right.
And I believe on suspension. And yeah, who knows? I doubt if he'll pitch again in the majors, but he still has shit. I don't know, 12, $15 million left on the contract this year and next year. So
Yeah,
you know,
he's not going to be hurt, but
yeah. Unfortunately,
still,
but this kid though, he's done. I think.
right.
Unless they absolutely say no, it never happened. She lied, blah blah blah, and but even then, he's gonna have a hard time finding a job in the NFL.
Right, MLB. And yeah, I mean, well, the whole thing. We went through that whole thing last year, and but
Yeah, yeah.
so it seems like the line for Thursday is 2.5 in favor of the. I think it's
I believe it's in favor of the Bills, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see.
yeah,
It was
Ram,
2.5. It's still 2.5.
yeah,
So as of right now, it's still 2.5. So, and I'm pretty sure the Bills are a great team. Even though the Rams won the Super Bowl, the Bills were a powerhouse during the regular season. And I guess they're probably figuring championship ring time, all the jubilation and stuff. Usually whenever they get the rings, no matter what platform, whether it's baseball, basketball, football, the team usually loses that game because they're so excited they forget about they got to play still.
right. Well, I know they're gonna lower the banner for that, and
Yeah,
uh, it should be a good game though. I mean, the Bills just don't. I don't know if the Bills have enough to get over that hump. I mean,
yeah,
they are a good team, but it just seems like they can do it during the regular season, but somewhere in the playoffs they falter. And
yeah,
and I well, first off, they can't get past the Chiefs. No one can get past the
yeah.
Chiefs except the Bengals snuck out last year somehow, but it's. But I mean, I'm hoping the Bills should win that division unless something
Oh
happens
yeah.
in Miami, or Belichick
Yeah,
somehow
yeah.
pulls something out of his ass. But you know,
Yeah, the Bills, but I get what you're saying. The Bills are great during the regular season, but every time the playoffs come, I have that same feeling you do. It's like, nah, they don't. They just don't have it yet. I do that. There's a few basketball teams that I'll do that. Like they're great during like the Phoenix Suns. I'm like, they're great, but they don't scare me in the playoffs. The Bills don't scare me in the playoffs.
no, I don't know. I mean, they're playing good football, but I don't think it just things haven't fallen their way yet to get to
Yeah.
a Super Bowl. I mean, because you got to think about it. I mean, the things had to fall the Bengals' way to get past Cincinnati. I mean, not Cincinnati. They got past themselves. The Chiefs.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
especially with that offensive line that they had last year. I mean, how did they? But anyway, it doesn't matter. Every year's different. So, and I don't think the Chiefs are going to be hurting that much without Tyreek Hill. I think they'll be able to continue
Oh yeah.
on their path. But the West, I think, should be interesting. The Raiders should be in it. I think. I mean, at least a wild card, wouldn't you think? Or aren't you that excited
I,
about them
I
yet?
would I would think so. No, only because of every single year I have the same thing where you look at them at the beginning of the season, you're like, this is a well, when it was a 16 game season, this is you're looking at going, wow, this could be the 11-5, 10-6, maybe 13-4 or 13-3, but something just happens with these guys that they lose the stupidest games that they shouldn't be losing, and it's frustrating because you see the potential that's there, and the money that they're paying some of these guys, and you're just like, it's just frustrating. I mean, you've gone through that,
Yeah.
it's
Last year.
just frustrating. Yeah, it's just frustrating.
I mean, I know that Baker.
And
I mean, I keep saying Baker was hurt, but still, they had so much firepower, high expense.
Yeah.
But this was started before Baker was hurt. I mean, I just can't say Baker was hurt because it's like week one, like, here. Well, I think they played the Chiefs first, and I kind of expected a loss there. But after that, they still kept going. It's like, come on, what's going on? I mean, but yeah, I know what you're saying. And I'm just thinking that the Raiders. I mean, they should. I don't see how they could. I don't think the Broncos are ready.
Yeah, it looks like this is a perfect year for the Raiders. They picked up some nice pieces in the offseason. Looks like Derek Carr's in his right mind and he's healthy. And they got rid of Chucky because I always thought when Chucky came back, he was not the coach for the Raiders. It was great that he came back, great homecoming, blah, blah, blah. But I have felt that the way the NFL's played had passed him by. He had that old, 10, 15 year ago mentality. And, these guys just don't react to that anymore. So I'm hoping for a good season. But, we'll wait and see. But all I know is that I'm just happy that the Cowboys will always go down as the dumbest playoff, mess up of all time when they just ran out of time. Remember that?
Yeah. It's like
I'm ready to send that little snippet to my buddy who's a diehard Cowboys fan and just put always remember.
Well, I hope that McDaniels has learned some lessons from last time he coached, where he was ran out of town by Denver, wasn't it?
Denver, yes.
And then he went back to New England and spent how many years there as as their offensive coordinator or whatnot. Yeah. And so I don't know if he learned his lesson, but hopefully he picked up some some stuff from Belichick.
From Belichick. I mean, if you're gonna learn, that's the guy to learn from, even though, he seems pretty standoffish, but I don't know how he is with his coaches. But even if he is that standoffish type of thing, I mean, just being under him and seeing how he coaches and the way he, his chess game that he does and the whole thing, you can't help but learn from a guy like that. So I'm hoping that he learned, but we'll see.
Well, he has claimed that the Raiders are not Patriots West Coast.
Yes.
Not Raiders
I've
West
heard that a couple times, yes.
So hopefully that's true. Well, not too true, because I mean, Belichick had his, you got to still take what you've learned from that tree and just go with it. But you're right. I mean, Chucky just wasn't ready for it. I mean, Chucky got a big payday, but how long did he, like you said, spent in the?
Yeah, he was in the booth for what, almost 10 years or so, whatever it was.
Or network, or doing talking head type of deal. Yeah, and a lot can change in a decade.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it looked like plus he got in trouble too for not reading the handbook for the last 10 years. Oh, you can't do that anymore?
I still have a problem with that. I mean, those type of guys that have been around for 20, 30 years, they've had bad emails or they've had bad text or whatever sent out. But at that time, and I know Scorekeeper disagrees with me, during that time, no one made a big deal about when you said stuff like that. To a certain point, depending on what you said, of course. But, and to hold someone, 30 years later or 20 years later saying, 20 years ago he said this, and he gets fired for it. I'm like,
Yeah, how far back do you go? I mean, cancel culture goes all the way back. I mean, they don't care. They just see something on YouTube and it could have happened 50 years ago. Oh, wait, whoa. It's like, well, it's a whole different time. And it was 50 years ago. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's ancient history. But
Yeah, not to certain people.
but it's a whole new time for the Raiders, and I hope that they can perform this year. I mean, at least get to the playoffs and actually go pretty deep. I don't know. It depends. I mean, I guess the most disappointed that for the Raiders that I've seen in the past was when David Carr broke his leg, and you
Yeah.
guys were ready to. I think you guys were right
Yeah.
there, and he
Yeah,
breaks his
we were
leg.
ready. He breaks his leg. I think it was the last game of the season, second to last game of the season. We were having a
Yeah.
great season, and yeah, that
You
was
guys were on
heartbreaker.
fire, man. You guys, I mean, you guys hit your stride. You were going in, and then David Carr breaks his leg, and it's like, oh, what else can go wrong for those guys? I mean, jeez.
Yeah, yep.
But it
Well,
happens. But
hopefully we can get back to that type of gameplay, and then just ride it into the playoffs. Because I would love to see them at least get past the first round, at least get into the second round.
make it
You know,
respectable.
Yeah, make a good game of the playoffs. But
And
you
then
know,
build on next year. Or do you
yeah,
think? I mean, do you think the Raiders? Well, it depends. Raiders could catch a break here and there.
yeah. I mean, because of because of the record last year. I mean, their strength of schedule isn't that great. They're like middle of the pack. So I used to remember with the Chargers every year where they would have that one great season. So they'd have a tough schedule, and then they would be really bad. So their strength of schedule was really weak, and then of course they'd be up there again. So I'm hoping that with a medium strength of schedule and the fact that they look pretty good again this year on paper, and if they can follow through with it, they can be near the top, if not on the top of the heap, in their
Yeah.
division.
Well, I've seen that depending on who you listen to. Some have the Chargers finishing second or whatever, and I don't know.
The Chargers are. I
Or
let's put it this way: even if the Chargers were to end with a better record, I'm not afraid of the Chargers at all. At all. They Yeah, no. The Chargers don't impress me at all.
they don't impress me either. I was kind of surprised when they said, "Well, the Chargers." I'm thinking, where'd they come from? I mean, they've been, they. I know they're Los Angeles now, but it just seemed like they got lost in the shuffle because no one, it was okay when they were
Yeah.
San Diego and had this whole place to themselves, but now they're just tenants, right? As far
Yeah,
as
and it was sad that where they were playing, which what used to be the Home Depot Center, I forgot, I don't know what it's called now, or maybe it's still the Home Depot Center. When they were playing there temporarily while they were building SoFi, I thought it was hilarious that they couldn't even sell out a 10,000 seat stadium, because that one is a soccer stadium and it only held 10,000 or 11,000, and they could not sell out. Most of the time, you could game day. They said you could walk up to the to the ticket booth
Oh
and get
my.
tickets, no problem.
Wow.
And the only time they would sell out is when the Raiders came or the Niners came to town. Other than that, there was always seats available, and I thought that was indicative of the team. And this is when they were 12-5 and stuff like that, and they still couldn't sell out the damn stadium.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. I just didn't think it would. I know that the Chargers wanted a new stadium forever in San Diego, and they just wouldn't pass anything to build it.
Yeah.
So they,
And,
but I
and they
don't, I
still have
don't.
it.
No,
I believe they're. I think now some construction company bought it, and if I'm not mistaken, they're tearing the stadium down. Qualcomm. They're destroying it, and they're going to make a massive housing condo complex there. Because I forgot how many thousands of or hundreds of acres there is available right there. So, and it's prime real estate because it's right off the freeway. It's right where the 15, I think it's the 15 and the 8 interchange, which is a big hub area there. So, and on the other side of the freeway, there are business. It's business mixed with condos. So this would just work out. And then there's the train goes right through there, the trolley
Oh.
or whatever the hell they call it down there. So there's stops along the way. So if they decide to do that, man, that's going to be a multi-billion-dollar area money
Yeah,
wise.
because it's going to cost quite a bit of money to tear down a huge stadium. Like, I mean, even if they implode it, they still have to dig all that
Yeah.
crap out of
Yeah,
there.
oh yeah, definitely,
Jeez.
yeah.
Ow. So, yeah. Well, I guess the Chargers say, well, since you're going to blow it up, build us a new one. No, I guess that's not going to work. But, yeah. But I really don't see Denver doing much. And I don't know. Denver, I don't know if that just replacing a quarterback is going to be good enough.
Yeah, they have a few holes in their team, offensive and defensively. I think Russell Wilson will help. Yeah, I think it'll help stabilize at least the offense a bit. But I only see maybe a 2 to 3 win differential versus last year. I give them at least another year to put a decent team together. Because Elway's out, isn't he? Isn't he no longer with the executive staff, or is he still there but really doesn't have power anymore, or something like that? Wasn't he stepping
You
away?
know, all I know is he lost almost $1 billion. So, but you're probably, I mean, I don't know. You're probably right. I mean, I think he was living on borrowed time until all that was settled anyway. I mean, with who owned
Yeah.
the team. From what I understood, that he was waiting for everything to get in place, and they said he probably could have been gone as soon as they decided who the owners were and blah, 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 and get all that settled. But he's probably gone by now. I mean, he did okay. I mean, he got him Peyton Manning,
yeah.
but and he was probably a good figurehead for the Bronco organization, but it's not his anyway. I think the new ownership got rid of him. I don't know what he's doing now since he didn't make all that money and he no longer has his car dealerships.
Yeah.
It's too.
I'm pretty sure he has enough money right now.
Well,
I mean, he's not hurting. Let's put it that way.
No. Oh.
But I think I'm going to call it, unfortunately, sir, because
Oh, that's fine. I was going to anyway. It was getting close to
I was
little
running
over 2
around,
hours.
never got dinner, so
You must be
hungry.
You must be hungry
Little bit.
then.
A
Yeah.
little bit.
Well, I didn't either. I was out. I was trying to get this thing ready and trying to get things done. Are you still on for tomorrow?
Yes, we are. We will be talking about the ages of comics and how we're stuck in a rut for the last 20 something odd years, 30 something odd years,
Yes.
40 odd years, whatever it's been.
Long time. So, okay, well, that's it for the Almighty Sports Show. As Big Dog mentioned, tomorrow on NDB Media will be Comics 101. I think it starts 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific.
Yes, I will be back. I did that, so I made
So-
sure to be back in time.
Okay. Any last words, Big Dog?
No, just that it was fun. Seeing the return of the Almighty Sports Show, it's great. Thank you for inviting me on. I really appreciate it. I enjoyed my time here.
Well,
And,
thanks for being here, so I wouldn't be a loner.
Looking forward to more shows, and we'll get, this is more an in-depth type of show than what you're used to on Saturdays, where we just kind of cover everything. But it's great to have you back. And
Right. Well, I'm not, I'm still not, this is the first episode. We still got things to do. And if you continue to be on, I wouldn't mind getting into more deeper conversations about wrestling too. I mean, I know without Speedy, it kind of, he's the,
be ready on Saturday, because the shit hit the fan on Sunday. So
wow.
there is major stuff going on. Just a real quick synopsis.
Okay.
Sunday was AEW's All Out show, which is their WrestleMania. So that's their big show of the year.
Okay.
Main event was CM Punk versus John Moxley. CM Punk won the title back. Excellent pay-per-view. It went forever, but it ran smoothly. There were 15 matches altogether, but it didn't seem slow. So I give an A for the pay-per-view. But the shit hit the fan afterwards when they had what, and I've never heard it put this way, but when the media gets together to do the interviews, AEW, for whatever reason, calls it the media scrum. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Call it whatever you want. First out was CM Punk, who just won the title, and he looked kind of pissed off. So I guess someone asked him what he was pissed off about. And he went on about a 15-minute rant about rumors and that no one's professional. And now the executive vice presidents of AEW are 3 wrestlers, which are the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick, and Kenny Omega. Now, these are the guys that started the whole AEW concept before the Khans came in and gave it a name. They held their own pay-per-view because they were told they couldn't do it. So they went out and got the venue in Chicago and sold it out in like under 5 minutes. When we were told no one could do that other than WWE. So they proved themselves. The company was started, blah, blah, blah. So CM Punk went out and said, and I apologize for the cussing, but he said, these guys, the EVPs are a bunch of fucking idiots. They couldn't fucking run a Target, let alone a wrestling company, so they should shut their fucking mouth. That they're nothing but this, nothing. And he went on and on. And everybody knew who they're talking about because there's only 3 EVPs, which are those wrestlers. Right. So after he went on his rant, now mind you, Tony Khan, the owner of the company, is sitting right next to CM Punk with a dumbfounded look on his face, like, what the hell is going on? And he doesn't stop him from talking, though. He just lets him badmouth his executive vice presidents and badmouth the other wrestlers, and he just went on and on. After that, CM Punk goes to his private locker room, his private room, because even though he's supposed to be one of the boys, but yet he has his own locker room, so whatever.
Okay.
So the Bucks and Kenny Omega went in there and started with like, what the fuck, dude? What the hell are you talking about? And CM Punk was the first one to throw fists. So there was a fist fight, and the guy that was with CM Punk, one of his, I guess, closest friends, got involved also and threw a chair at one of the Young Bucks, and it hit him in the eye. One of the Young Bucks in the eye. And then the other one, Kenny Omega, I guess, was trying to intervene, and Punk's friend got him by the hair and bit him on the arm. So finally, yes, it was. They said it was all out brawl. That it was just a melee. People came in rushing. All kinds of wrestlers came in rushing to separate everybody. And for the past 48 hours, the wrestling media has been going fucking crazy because they're saying because there's rumors that the Bucks and Kenny Omega say they're going to quit the company now if nothing's done to Punk. Punk says, I'm going to quit the company if you fire the guy that was helping me out, because he's my buddy, even though he threw a chair and bit the other one. You can't do anything to him because I'm going to quit. They're saying that maybe everybody's going to be, of course, reprimanded, fined, maybe suspended. They're saying maybe CM Punk, they're going to make him drop the title on Wednesday as punishment. So everybody pretty much is just waiting for Wednesday, tomorrow, to see what happens on AEW Dynamite. And if anything's even going to be mentioned about it, because they're saying none of the main players are talking about it, because they say the police are possibly involved right now.
Why?
Because of the chair being thrown and being one of the wrestlers being bitten. in a fight.
Well, yeah, that's rabies.
So, but yeah, so get ready for Matt. Matt's gonna have probably all kinds of misinformation,
my.
but I'll set him straight.
Miss it. Well, God.
But with that, we'll see. But once again, I thank you for the Almighty Sports Show
No,
bringing it
no,
back.
no,
and
no. Thank
love
you.
being
I'm
on
glad.
here.
It's been awesome. So as you just heard, join us Saturday morning, Sports Talk with the guys, and we'll go more in depth on what all this brouhaha is going on. And not only that, but WWE news and whatever else Matt can come up
Whatever else
with.
happens in sports.
Yep.
Football season will be in its. We'll start it off, and of course, we will have our predictions.
Right.
At 7 a.m. Pacific
Right.
time.
And that's true. We will be able to talk about Thursday's game. And so anyway, everyone check out the NDB Media Facebook page. Our picks for Thursday should be there.
Yeah, they're
I
either
hope.
going to be there or they'll be in the morning. No, if they're not there in the morning, I will text Roger to make sure he puts them up.
Okay. Well, thanks everybody for joining us on this inaugural episode of the Almighty Sports Show, number 46. And we shall catch you again next Tuesday at 9 o'clock, where we will go in and talk more in depth on more sports nonsense. Good day.
Take care, everyone.